Yes, I know it can be a little confusing, so my official name, Polish name, is Grzegorz, Grzegorz. That's the name you can see in my Polish versions of my videos and in some of the concert programs as well. But this name, Grzegorz, is the Polish version of this very same name, which in other languages is Gregory or Greg or Gregorio and Spanish. So because Polish language is so complicated and full of consonants, it's quite difficult for some foreigners to pronounce my name or to even remember how to spell this name and how to write my name. So that's why, together with my managers in other countries, we decided to use the English version of my name in most of my concerts abroad. So that's why sometimes you can see Greg, sometimes you can see Grzegorz. I like Greg, so I don't mind if you call me Greg. Thanks. Well, the beginning of this whole Chopin project was not that obvious. We have to go back to March 2020, a very difficult month in life of most of people around the world. The beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. Well, at least here in Poland, it was the official beginning with all the lockdown, but I think it started in Italy and then all Europe and then pretty much everywhere. As we know, for every artist, it was a drama. Not only artists, of course. Practically for everybody, it was a shock. We were not prepared for this. But for artists it was even harder, because many artists started to ask themselves questions. Is the art still important? Do people need art? What can we do? What should we do in these terrible circumstances when we cannot go out, that we cannot play concerts, and all the concerts were cancelled? Personally, for me, the year 2020 was to be the best year of my life when it comes to concerts. I had booked, I was booked already in, I don't remember now, but it was more than 40 or 50 concerts in Norway, China, Japan, South America, Poland, and a few other countries, and of course everything was gone. The first 2 weeks were terrible for me. I was simply depressed. I couldn't believe that it's true. When suddenly something like that happens that you don't expect, you don't know what to do, and I didn't know what to do. So I remember very well that month. I did nothing. I remember that in Poland in March the weather was just like today, was very beautiful, sunny and warm, and practically every day I was out just laying on the sun and doing nothing, thinking and being depressed. Well, this was really crazy. But then after these 2 weeks, when I realized that it's not going to end soon, although that time people were saying, okay, come on, next 2 months it will be over. Well, I knew it's not going to be over for quite a long time. And then I decided to use this time and to stand up, you know. So I thought maybe I should do something on the internet. I was not that active on the internet before the pandemic. Of course I had my website, of course I had a Facebook fan page with quite many subscribers there. But mostly I published information about my concerts or some recordings from YouTube, or you know, I was not this kind of Facebook person, you know, this social person, how you call it, the you know, a Facebook star or something like this. I didn't have this kind of connection with my fans. It was just my way of publishing information about my activity. When the pandemic started, I tried to change it, and I remember my first video was about one of Chopin's mazurkas. I just wanted to show the people how I work on the mazurka. So I think it was a live stream that I made, and I was just practicing and explaining what I'm doing here with the phrase and there with the phrase, and you know, and so I was surprised how many people loved it actually, how much it was important for them, interesting for them, the way the pianist work at home on the piece of music. So I did it another time, and then I made it a few times, and I thought, okay, why not to try to create some kind of series out of this. And well, Chopin's mazurkas was a natural choice for me, because in 2020 I was invited to give a lecture in Tokyo, in Japan, for the Japanese Teachers Association, so a very prestigious association in Japan, to give the lecture about all Chopin's mazurkas. It was to be on, I think, September or October. September, just 1 month before the big Chopin competition in Warsaw. So when I got this invitation, I was surprised. I thought, why me? I mean, there are so many much older, more experienced and better, you know, professors and pianists here in Poland who could give such a fantastic lecture, I thought. But, well, the invitation came after my recital in Musashino Music Academy, which I had at the end of 2019. And I played a lot of mazurkas. I think I played like 20 mazurkas on this recital, and there were many important people, and they loved it. And together with my Japanese agent, well, they asked her to ask me if it's possible to do such a lecture, and of course I said yes, although I was very surprised. And then lockdown, so I thought, if I am to present the lecture about all the mazurkas, I should learn all of them, because I couldn't play all of them. At that time, I think I had in my repertoire about 22 mazurkas, less than half. So I started to learn, and then I thought maybe it's a good idea to present videos about each of the mazurka. Anyway, all the concerts were gone, everything was cancelled, I had time, so why not? And I started to think about it, and I started to produce it, but then, you know, what happened in Poland? Polish Ministry of Culture announced help for the artists in a kind of competition. Well, they announced a scholarship offer for some artistic projects online. Of course, for me it was great. The project was for 6 months, so I applied for presenting videos, lectures about mazurkas in all the mazurkas in 6 months. I got the scholarship, but unfortunately the scholarship was only for 3 months, because they got so many applications that they were overwhelmed, and they had to cut each project from 6 months to 3 months and to give out more money. It was not a big help, I must say, but well, better something than nothing, of course. So for 3 months I was doing every week, I was publishing 2 videos about mazurkas. I think it was Saturday and Sunday, or Saturday, I don't remember. But after 3 months, of course, I couldn't stop. So the next 3 months I was doing this practically for free. I was really overwhelmed of how many people, fans, were watching this project. So yeah, that's how it started. Well, when I finished my project about mazurkas, it was the end of 2020. I already had quite a lot of fans, and not only Polish fans, because as you know, I decided to make videos both in Polish and in English, so 2 separate videos, right? So every time when I was recording, first I recorded the Polish version, and then I recorded again the same thing but in English. Of course it was a lot of work, but it was worth it, because, you know, Polish language nobody understands, and I was kind of sure that it might be interesting for not only Polish people but all Chopin lovers around the world. So that's why I decided to make this effort to prepare it twice. So I had more and more people who were commenting these videos so enthusiastically, and I felt how important it is for everybody, especially during lockdown, when everybody was closed at home, they couldn't go out, or they couldn't, there were no concerts, no culture. Chopin competition was cancelled as well, so for all those people who were waiting for Chopin competition, you know, to listen to a lot of Chopin's music, this was something very interesting. So when I finished mazurkas, I already started to think about what can I do next. And I remember that close to the end of 2020, I came up with this crazy idea to prepare all Chopin's pieces for the piano, because I thought, well, if I did mazurkas, you know, concerts were still cancelled. I didn't have concerts for next year because the coronavirus started to grow again. We had another lockdown at the end of the year, and of course we were so frustrated. We thought it will never end, so I decided I have to continue this. So I prepared all this list with all the project, all the pieces for the whole year, and I applied for me in the Ministry of Culture of Poland for the scholarship for artists. This was a regular scholarship that is offered for artists every year. We in Poland, in Ministry of Culture, we have this possibility that we can apply if we have some project, not only musicians, also painters, you know, or sculptures, or every artist, when composers, when we have some project, some idea, we write about it, we apply, and we can get like payment for this. And it's very good, because it helps artists to, some of the artists, to survive even while doing something they love. And this project was for 12 months. And when I got it, because I finally got it, then I had no choice. I had to finish this project by the end of December, actually by the end of January, because they postponed the announcing the decision. It was actually a very funny story, I have to tell you about it, because officially the decision about this scholarship was to be published in the middle of December. You know, all the project had a schedule, so I had to make a careful schedule. You know, in January all the ballads, all the waltzes, all the polonaises, month by month, everything. But you know, the end of December, there is no results, and then I was thinking what to do. I have the project when I have to publish videos every single week, so I cannot wait for them. But I was not sure if I get the scholarship. Well, the chances were 50 to 50, you know, 50%. And I remember that I decided to start to publish these videos without knowing that if I got the money or not. And I even remember that my first video about Chopin's Ballad No. 1, Polish version, was made in Norway. When at the end of 2020, I managed to come to Norway for my only concert tour in that year. I had to use my car. I had to go by car from Poland. Just imagine. You know, take the ferry to Sweden and then just drive up north. And to save the time, I made my first video about Ballad No. 1, Polish version, in the theater in Norway, in Eidsvoll. And for the whole first month, I was making videos without the decision from Ministry of Culture. So when they announced the decision, they also announced that because the decision was announced later, we have one more month to finish it. And it actually saved my project, because as you maybe remember if you watched the project, by the end of December I still didn't finish all the etudes. So the etudes were done in January, thanks to this. So yeah, that's why I decided to do this, because I saw that there are so many people who love what I'm doing, and this is probably the most important for the artist, the feeling of that it is important for somebody, that it means something to somebody, that was very special. So that's why I continued doing this. Well, as I said before, when I started the project about mazurkas, I had less than half of the mazurkas in my repertoire. I remember I had Opus 17, 2 mazurkas from Opus 24, Opus 30, Opus 33. So we have 12, 14, Opus 33, then Opus 50, 70, and Opus 59. So 20 mazurkas in my repertoire. The rest was completely new for me. So I had to learn them. And I remember that it was not easy. Even only the mazurkas, you can say mazurkas are easy, but to learn them that time, I still decided that I will memorize every single mazurkas to play it at the end of the video. In Polish version, actually, I remember at the end of the video I played the mazurka in its entirety. In English version I didn't. And now I regret that, because I thought, English version, okay, you know, I had too much. I thought it's 2 times the same thing, so I decided not to do it, and now I regret, because it stays here and the project is so huge, but English version of the movies about mazurkas is not as good as Polish. Later I changed it, so thanks God you don't have this problem when you watch all the other pieces of music. But yeah, it was quite a challenge, but I loved it. And when it comes to the next project of 2021, this was even harder, because there were quite a lot of difficult pieces of music which I had never played. Like, for example, 3 out of 4 scherzos. I've only played number 2. I've never played 1, 3 and 4. Or 2, the ballads number 2, ballad number 2, ballad number 3. They were completely new for me. Fantasy in F minor, another very heavy, difficult piece I had to learn from the beginning, or Rondo Opus 16, or 12 preludes. Unfortunately, most of these most difficult ones, and of course more than half of the etudes, because I haven't played all the etudes, so they were also, I had to practice them especially for this project. So yeah, it was quite a lot of new music for me to learn, to practice, and to analyze, of course, because it was also reading books and finding some sources also on the internet to present for you in the video. Quite a lot of work. I think the secret of this project and the fact that I managed to realize it was the fact that I really had a very good plan, a very good schedule of the work. As I said before, it was very difficult. Practically, I was thinking only about this, only about Chopin, every day about this project. Every single day when I woke up, I looked at my schedule, I looked at what I have to do, how the preparations are, what shall I practice today, and so on and so on. And this was like an obsession, a Chopin obsession, because just imagine, for almost 2 years, 2 years without 2 months, I had to publish at least one video, sometimes two, every single week, every single weekend. There were no breaks. There was only a break, I think, for Christmas and for Easter time, a little, but no break during vacation time, during the summertime. No break at all. And I remember I was changing my home. I was moving out during that time, and I remember I prepared quite a lot of videos ahead when I was moving, because of course when you move the piano, move everything, you can't record. So it was really hard. And what was the hardest? Definitely making a good strategy. Yeah, I think the word strategy is very important, because what saved me was the strategy. First of all, I separated pieces that I've played before from pieces that I haven't played and I've never played before. Then when I took the new pieces of music, then I looked at them and I made a list of, starting from the most difficult piece that I will need the most of time to prepare, to the easiest ones. This was the key of success, because, for example, Fantasy in F minor, a few preludes and a lot of the etudes I had to start many months before the actual video. For example, I remember the video about Fantasy in F minor was published in October, the beginning of October, I think, or the end of September, but I've already started preparing Fantasy in F minor in April. So, every single day I had a plan, and every week, when I finished the week, on Sunday evening, I prepared the plan for the next week. And I had planned for 1 month, for 1 year, for 1 week, and for every day. And yeah, well, I remember that also the order of the pieces that I published was very cleverly done, I would say. Because I started from, first I started from the ballads, because not all of them I knew, so that's why I didn't play them in its entirety at the end of the video. But then I had waltzes, most of which I've played before, and I managed to combine these pieces that I've played and were easier for me, like for example sonatas. Thanks God I played both the sonatas, because these pieces need a lot of time to prepare. And probably the best idea was to have analysis of the nocturnes in the summer. because in the summer I had more time. Nocturnes were relatively easy, so while publishing videos about nocturnes, at the same time I practiced preludes and Fantasie in F minor and the Rondo Opus 16 and even some etudes for December, January or November. So yeah, so I would say good strategy, good plan and obsession and very hard work. That were the keys to the success. The reaction of my fans and people who watched these videos were very touching, and I have to say this now, without those people, without those reactions, probably I wouldn't be able to finish this project. Every single comment was a fuel for me. Every single comment gave me power, especially in hard times when I had some breakdown moments when I thought, okay, oh my God, I can't do it. It's too much. I can't play this. I can't play that. It's hopeless. I will not be able to do. I wanted to give up a few times. But then when I read all these comments, both on Facebook by my Polish fans and also on YouTube, I got the power from all those people, from all of you who watched me every single week and sometimes every day when I made etudes or preludes. So thank you very much. I met a lot of new fantastic people, both in Poland and abroad, through this project. Can you believe that in my Facebook fan page it was created, the whole group, like a family of people who never met before, who had never knew about themselves. They started to watch my live premieres every week and talk to each other, comment each other. Then they became friends, and this project, I would say, in a way changed the world, because there is one poet who wrote a beautiful book of poetry inspired by my videos, and she published it. There were a few painters who started to make beautiful paintings or my portraits. Many people started to come to my concerts. When I started to play concerts, they traveled sometimes 500 kilometers to meet me. We had a few touching moments after my concerts when a group of 20 people watching my videos, so from the group, came after the concert. We had a group photo, we had a conversation, and it was so special. And I visited one of them in Warsaw, two actually, I think. So I got quite a lot of acquaintances, and also around the world. So this was very special. Of course, this project changed me a lot. I'm not the same person, I'm not the same musician, I'm not the same pianist anymore. To learn all Chopin's pieces for the piano is something that before I made it, I didn't believe it's possible, especially in my case. And it wouldn't be possible if I continued to play concerts, of course, but I had a lot of time, and in fact, when you have time, when you have passion, and you have some idea, maybe a mission, then everything is possible. So this kept me going, and learning all Chopin's music for the piano changed me tremendously. I already can say, when I play concerts now, I can feel that. When I compare my recordings before the project and after the project, and when I practice new pieces, my technique is much better. Also my spirit and my brain, through all this analysis, So Chopin was my teacher and Chopin was my guide during this 2 years journey, and I'm very thankful for him, because now I'm a completely different person. Of course, I got a lot of comments from my fans, comments like, oh please, can you analyze Rachmaninoff, or can you analyze Beethoven, or can you analyze something else, or please don't stop, we can't survive without these weekly videos, and so on. So for now I continue this project, because the project was not about Chopin's posthumous works, so I continue making analysis about these pieces. But I'm also thinking about the future. Of course, I have some dreams, fantasies, plans to make, for example, analysis of the complete cycle of Beethoven sonatas. That would be incredible. Or Mozart sonatas, or maybe Bach music, or maybe Edvard Grieg, but not all of him. But you know, now also I start to play more, and this is my priority. Of course, I'm not really a YouTuber. I have never been. I'm a concert pianist, and I'm truly happy when I have contact with the audience, when I play the concerts. So this is always my priority, and when I have a lot of concerts to which I have to prepare, I don't have so much time to prepare pieces for the analysis. And I don't want to analyze pieces that I can't play, because it wouldn't make sense. At least for me, I need to show, I need to play, I need to analyze, and to make analysis you need to play. Of course, there are many musicologists who are making analysis only looking at the score, but I don't think it's enough. So who knows what will happen in the future? If I have a great project and I have some time, definitely I need to prepare this way ahead. Not like with this Chopin crazy project, when I was publishing videos and learning pieces at the same time. This was too crazy. So who knows? We will see.